Hello student, I am Prachi. In the last lecture, we see the factors involving designing the machine foundation. Means in the unit number 6 installation of maintenance of electrical equipment. So today this also see the in the next last lecture the types of machine foundations, isolation method and factors foundation requirement for static machine foundation, factors governing them. So foundations requirements for static machine foundations, factors governing them. Transformer is one of the important static machine. Means transformer is static machine, and since they operate without moving parts, generally a simple foundation is satisfactory provided it is firm, horizontal and dry. The transformer should not rock or bend down unevenly so as to tilt, as this may strain the connections. The base should be horizontal to keep the oil level correct. Means this is all about the foundations. And third point is, for outdoor installations, a level concrete plinth above the maximum flood or storm water level of the site of correct size to accommodate the transformer in such a way so that no person may step on the plinth. Fourth point is, if necessary, bearing plates of sufficient size and strength should be provided for transformers. Where rollers are fitted, suitable rails or tracks should be provided, and when the transformer is in final position, the wheels should be locked by locks or the other means to prevent accidental movement of the transformer. Where full height partition walls are built, adequate clearance should be provided. So this is the requirements for static machine foundations, factors governing them. And then the next is foundations, requirements and factors affecting rotating machine foundation. So first is the plant at which the machine is manufactured give the basic dimensions of the foundation. The concrete foundation should be about 15 cm larger in both length and breadth than the machine feet or bed plate or side rails. These dimensions of course refer to the top of the foundation block. The depth of the foundation should be as given in table. But if it is desired that the machine should stand up above the floor level, that is on a plinth, then the height of the plinth must be added to the foundation depth. Horsepower, depth of foundation, horsepower 10 to 25 horsepower. There is 50 to 20 centimeter depth is important, and for 20 to 50, 20 to 25 centimeter, and for 50 to 75 horsepower, 25 to 30 to 32.5 centimeter, and 75 to 100 horsepower, 32.5 to 60 centimeter depth is important. The above figure are for a normal sort of drive. In case of where loading large powers and vibrations are to encountered, manufacturers of machine be consulted. In some cases, it may be difficult to reach hard ground. In this case, a large foundation will be necessary to support the weight of the machine and the force of the drive, such as the belt or chain pull. In such case, it becomes very difficult to decide on the dimensions of the foundation block, and will be better to discuss the problem with local authority or surveyor who can advise correctly. In those rare cases where the foundation can be placed on solid rock, it will sufficient to cut out pockets for the fixing holes of the motor to be grout left into and provide a concrete floors or levels where the nature of rock make necessary. So this is the about factors requirements for the rotating machine foundation. And this is very important point in this unit, that is the different tools used in the maintenance. First is the bearing puller. This is the image of bearing puller, and tools of this type are most useful for withdrawing bearing sprockets, gears, etc. when the space at the back is restricted. Figure shows a bearing wedge applied to the driving end bearing of a motor rotor, where the use of ordinary driving gear is often difficult due to limited space and danger of damage to winding. So this is all about the bearing puller, and it is very important for the MCQs. Most of the questions are asked for the on the bearing puller, so it is very important. And the next is filler gauge. This is the diagram of filler gauge. The air gap should always be checked after dismantling and reassembly. It is also a part of routing maintenance, particularly in case of sleeve bearing machines. In making this measurement, a special long filler gauge is inserted through the apertures, which are often provided in the end brackets for the purpose. These apertures are usually plugged to exclude dirt, and the screwed plug must be removed to permit insertion of the filler capping. Apertures are usually provided at 4 points separated by an angle 90 degree. Means it is used for the measure the distance in this machine foundation. In this machine. So the next is dial test indicator. Dial test indicator are measuring device used in mechanical and industrial application. It is very important point, that is it is a mechanical and industrial application. They are designed to measure in vertical or horizontal position and typically used to measure clearance, tolerance and vibrations tolerance of machine part to ensure accuracy. Dial type indicator are used to check the run out of rotation parts, commutator rotors, shafts. This indicator consists of a system of interlinked levers or of gear wheels to magnify small movement, enabling them to read on a pointer type dial. So the next is the indicator is secured to the holder and a vertical stand mounted on a base to permit it to be fixed at any angle. Indicators can also be used to check the alignment of shaft in electrical machines. The indicators are generally provided with 0.01 mm scale division. During the measuring, the base is placed on a stationary support and the measuring rod is set perpendicular to the shaft axis. Then the rod is made to bear upon the surface being checked. Prior to taking the run out reading, make sure that the indicator is positioned correctly. For this purpose, lightly tap the indicator case. The pointer in case will oscillate if after oscillation it returns to its initial position. The indicator is set correctly. So in this diagram, see the indicator pointer, sensor button, magnetic tool holder, tool mounting holder. So this is the diagram of a dial test indicator. And the fourth is the spirit level. So it is used for the machine foundation. When installing electrical machines, checking for of foundation for correct level is to be carried out. For this purpose, hydrostatic or spirit level is used. The operating principle of a spirit level is based on the fact that when it is in a horizontal plane, a bubble in the bent glass tube filled with liquid rise to top center. When the machine foundation is checked for levelness, first determine the direction of the inclination if any and then its value. To obtain correct measurement, wipe off the button surface of the level and also the surface on which it is to be placed with rags. It should always be remembered that the sensitivity of spirit level will be impaired by heat. So these are the importance of spirit level and the use of spirit level. Then the next is the Megger. For measurement of insulation resistance which is very high, a Megger is used. And in the last lecture we see the earth tester and then the full of Megger and also the multimeter and growler. And also the following factors to be considered in designing of machine. So today's thank you.